Okay, so here's a guide for some fighters in Brawl Stars, and I'm gonna explain like all their star powers, gadgets, and gears or whatever. And first up, I recommend using the first gadget because if you hit it, it like stuns the enemy, and it's really good because you can just go at them, and especially with the second star power, the bear would do massive damage to the enemies. So I recommend using this gadget and the second star power. And for the gears, I recommend using the pet power gear that pairs well with the gadget and star power. And the second gear, I recommend using +1 gadget because if you're doing it and you want and like it's useful to like stun enemies more, and if you like miss a shot, you can like do it again, and that's good. So now for her, I recommend using the first gadget because it's really useful, and like you can push enemies, and like I use it sometimes, and it's just really good because like instead of doing the constant 1,000 damage, yeah, you can push it and then they'll go away, and then you can do more damage. And for the gear, I recommend using the damage gadget in case someone jumps on you and uses. Okay, so for the star power, I recommend using the first one because it does tons of damage, and it's really worth it for the 2,000 coins. For the second gear, I recommend using the +1 gear. Actually, yeah, the +1 gear. It's useful because same with Nia because like you can do loads of damage. You can knock back enemies really well, and it's worth it. And now for Buzz, I recommend using the second gadget because if you have on the island invasion map, it can be really good, and it can like and you can find enemies and kill them. So, and this one I don't like because there's still like a chance that you might get killed during it. For the gear, I recommend using shield gear because he's kind of a tanky assassin and stuff. So if you add more health, that'd make you pretty good. Now for his star power, I recommend using the first one because you can stun for more time, and that would be pretty useful. This one is kind of overrated because you only get one towel super radius. For the gears, I recommend for the second gear, I recommend using the speed gear because especially in the island invasion, you can move faster and kill enemies faster. And for Brock, I recommend using rocket laces, the first one, because it's useful when an enemy jumps on you and think they're gonna kill you because you have low health, but then it can just blast them away, and you can like knock back them and do a little bit of damage. For the gear, I recommend using the reload gear because his reload speed is pretty slow, and it's useful to have faster reload. For star power, I recommend using rocket number 4 because it's useful to have 4 ammo, and you can shoot an extra rocket before you have to reload your ammo. For the second gear, I recommend using shield gear because his health is bad and it's nice to add extra. For 8-bit, I recommend using his first gadget because it's useful, and like sometimes if you can like throw it like on top of a wall, you can just teleport to it and kill the enemy like in solo showdown. It's really useful. And I recommend using the reload gear because he has pretty slow recharge, and it's pretty useful. For his star power, I recommend using boosted booster, not plugged in. Plugged in is useless because it fixes a problem, but it's just this one is so better. Like you can make your booster bigger and you still do damage from it, which is great. And I recommend using the vision gear because like after you shoot, you can like see where enemies are, and then you can like use your laser beams more instead of doing like 600 damage for each laser beam. Now for Daryl, I recommend using the first gadget that I got. It's useful because it just like charges your super good, and like this one it's useless because why would he want to sell an enemy that's right next to you? It just makes no sense unless they're like very fast, but all very fast brawlers are like assassins like Crow, and it's not really good. So for his gears, I recommend using his gadget gear so he can use his gadget another time. For star power, I recommend using rolling reload because it's useful. Like you can just like recharge your ammo. This one is overrated because it's rare for people to even hit you during your super. And wait, yeah, no, 2 seconds is not enough, and 25 is not very good. Okay, so for his gears, I recommend using the shield gear so you can add extra health. And one sec. And for and this is the last one on this list I'm gonna do. It's gonna be Frank, and I recommend using Irresistible Attraction because it does lots of damage and you can pull enemies in and kill them all. So, and I recommend using his damage gear because, actually no, that's bad. I recommend using his shield gear so he can add more health to the tankiest bar, which is nice. And for star power, I recommend using Power Grab because you can do some good damage, like especially with this pairs well with this one. So like after you kill an enemy, you for 12 whole seconds, you can literally do 25 more damage. That's crazy. And I recommend using for his second one the gadget charge so you can do your attack one more time. And that's